Well, hey there. How are you? Hey, so, pop quiz. What is the opening line to this TV theme song? If you said it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, you got it wrong. It's called the Mandela Effect. Let's talk about it. The line from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is actually, it's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, this neighborhood, this neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor.
But if you ask any number of people who grew up watching that show, they'll tell you it's not. The term Mandela Effect was coined by paranormal researcher and author named Fiona Bloom. When she got word of Mandela's death in 2013, she swore that she remembered hearing about Mandela's death in the 80s in prison. She specifically recalled seeing news footage of his funeral being covered and tearful words by his widow. Bloom didn't think much of it at first until years later when she spoke with some other folks who remembered the same thing she did. She soon realized that perhaps thousands, even millions of people may have remembered Mandela's funeral as opposed to hearing about his death in 2013. An entire subculture of paranormal research sprung up around the Mandela Effect as people from all around the world collectively began sharing what appeared to be false memories or perhaps altered memories of everything from product labels to lines from movies to historical events. In recent years, thanks to social media, a lot of the Mandela Effect examples have gained some prominence. Berenstain Bears is commonly known as Berenstein Bears by people. Many people, for example, remember a movie starring the comedian Sinbad called Shazam, mixing it up with the Shaquille O'Neal movie Kazam. Well, the Sinbad movie never actually happened. All over the world, people insist upon certain cultural memories, such as the date of the Challenger explosion to whether or not Curious George had a tail. Example after example of disconnected memories between what really happened and what people believe are all over the place. Mandela Effect is used to argue about everything from the Kit Kat logo missing a hyphen to the Ford Motor Company having a little curly Q on the letter F. A lot of these are easily explainable as just part of basic cultural memory. Misrepresented lines in movies are a pretty common one. For instance, in Star Wars, Darth Vader never said, "Luke, I am your father." He said,
"No, I am your father."
Many people insist that there is a show called Sex in the City. There isn't, called Sex and the City. No segment of society is free from the Mandela Effect. People insist that Mr. Monopoly wears a monocle. Never has. Or for someone like myself who grew up believing that the name of the character was Uncle Moneybags or Mr. Moneybags. I recall for the first time hearing that his name was Mr. Monopoly and thinking that's the dumbest thing ever. More modern contemporary examples exist, like people insisting that the Pokemon character Pikachu has a black square on the end of his tail. No, he doesn't. For me, a couple of my favorite examples include the example I gave you at the beginning of the video, the opening line to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Contrary to what everybody believes, the line in Forrest Gump is not, "Life is like a box of chocolates." The line he actually says is, "Mama always said,
life was like a box of chocolates."
Is this really just a measure of cultural laziness? Is it the same function that brought us words like bae? People are too lazy to call someone their baby? Believe it or not, in Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter never said, "Hello, Clarice." Contrary to popular belief, the film isn't called Interview with a Vampire. It's based on the book, and the movie title is Interview with the Vampire. Another fun one I just recently came across goes back to Star Wars again. Remember, when Star Wars The Force Awakens came out, a lot of people had a fit over C-3PO's red arm. Shouldn't have been that surprising considering that C-3PO's always had a silver leg. Oh, what? You didn't know that? It's true. It's always been there. I never noticed it. Go back and look at all three of the original Star Wars movies. From the knee down, dude's right leg is silver. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal that all of a sudden he's got a red arm. This basic rationalization, however, doesn't stop the conspiracy theorists from coming out of the woodwork. Considering this was all started by paranormal researchers, that shouldn't be too surprising. For many years now, The primary conspiracy theory is that the Mandela Effect is caused by parallel universes crossing over with each other. For years it was believed that time travelers were messing with our timeline, making changes that, as they ripple throughout history, people remember both the original event and what happened after the change. More recently, the theory developed that the Mandela Effect was caused by individual parallel universes crossing over with each other. That somehow, for some reason, if you experience the Mandela Effect, it must mean that you began life in one dimension, and somewhere, somehow, along the way, you got pushed into an alternate reality. More recently, that theory has evolved to claim that, in fact, we're all living in a different parallel reality. It stems after the events at the CERN research project in Geneva, Switzerland. 2011, an experiment was done to track the speed of neutrinos, certain energy particles emitted by the sun. Now, full disclosure, the next statement is in dispute. Somehow, in the course of an experiment, scientists were able to force a neutrino to travel faster than the speed of light, which, by all scientific understanding, is absolutely impossible, and in fact, violates the understood laws of physics. Now again, that statement is completely in dispute. The official word from the research project is that it was equipment malfunction, and not an accurate measurement of the speed of that neutrino. Again, that doesn't stop the conspiracy theorists from moving forward. It's believed that by successfully moving a particle faster than the speed of light, our universe was effectively corrupted, imploded, or otherwise destroyed. And since energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred, all of the energy from that universe transferred to this one. But somehow, many of us maintained memories of events and descriptions from the original universe. Another example to demonstrate the point. In the classic story of Snow White, what is the line that the witch recites when she's speaking to the mirror and asking who's the fairest of them all? Go ahead, what's that line? If you said mirror, mirror on the wall, I invite you to go back and review the original movie from 1951. In fact, the witch says,
"Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest?"
Everything I've looked at online, I haven't really been able to pinpoint where that change took place. But again, in contemporary culture, we know that to be mirror, mirror. Did everybody just collectively forget that it was magic mirror on the wall? Or does this somehow lend credence to the idea that there are paranormal forces, supernatural forces, other dimensional forces at work here? I can't really help but kind of want to believe that there's more to it than just this basic reality that we exist in. I've got some pretty out there ideas of my own about the nature of life, the universe, and everything. But I suppose that's a video for another time. Comment below some of your examples of the Mandela Effect. Let me know what you think. Are you a by-the-book, strict adherence to reality? It's all just society being stupid and people being lazy. Or do you think there's more going on and that there could be something happening between dimensions? One other note before I close. In part of my research for this video, I came across the name of a kid, Max Loughan, Loughan. I watched a couple videos of this kid talking. He's being touted as kind of a genius prodigy, but he appears in several videos going on and on about the nature of infinity and the nature of reality and parallel universes. And honestly, it's very compelling, but there's still another conundrum. I can't find anything about this kid other than these videos. And unless he's just a really good actor being scripted by someone, some of the stuff he talks about doesn't sound like gibberish. It's pretty next level. Stay tuned because I've got some more to say about this Max Loughan kid, but that's for another time. For now, I'm interested to hear what you think, and of course, I thank you for taking the time to have this conversation with me today. If you liked the video, of course, a thumbs up and maybe a share would be greatly appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Got some more cool stuff to talk to you about, and I hope you subscribe. That's all I got for today, my friends, and of course, a simple reminder that when you're out in the world dealing with people from different realities, remember to always try to be nice. Never fail to be kind. Thanks so much for watching. See you on the road.